We might encounter some problems when we try to merge some diagrams. We will have a look at them now. The first one is called the entity name conflict. Let's have a look at the first one, which is a synonym conflict. Let's say we have a team that worked on the acquisition and payment process, and they came up with this relationship where a purchase is participating with a vendor. So a vendor is making a purchase. And then we might have had another team that was working on the financing business process, and they came up with a relationship where a cash disbursement is made to a supplier. So when we look at this, it doesn't look wrong or anything, and it isn't. The problem is when we try to merge diagrams. So it looks as if we have two different entities. We have a supplier entity and we have a vendor entity. But actually, this stands for exactly the same entity. So how do we solve this conflict? Well, the two teams will just have to decide which of these namings they are going to accept. Are they going to take the vendor or the supplier? So in the end, you are going to have the following. You will still have your purchase entity, and you will have a cash disbursement entity. And then in your merge diagram, both of them will be linked through a participation relationship with, let's say they decided to call it supplier. So then we have one supplier entity, and both of those entities will be linked to the same entity. Conflict solved. The next entity name conflict that we might encounter is called a homonym conflict. Again, let's take two scenarios. In this case, we have a team that worked on sales and collection, and they said that a sale will result in a payment. In the second scenario, we have a team that worked on acquisition and payment, and they said that a purchase will result in a payment. Both of these are true, but now we sit with payment and payment. So it looks as if it's common entities and we have to merge. But let's just quickly have a look. Can we really say that a sale and a purchase has a relationship with the same payment table? A sale in relationship with that, and a purchase in a duality relationship. Is this valid? Can we do that? We definitely cannot, because a sales payment is the action of receiving money into the business. A purchaser's payment action is paying money to a supplier or a creditor, and that is two very different actions. So in this case, it looks as if we have the same entities, payment and payment, but they are standing or meaning very different actions. So in this case, to solve this, we have to give each of these their own name. So a payment in sales, we will call a cash receipt, and a payment in purchases, we will call a cash disbursement. So then we can see it's two different entities, they will not be merged.